Welcome. Jai Shri Cāṇakya Paṇḍita.
Your voice is so pressed, like.
Jaya Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Antarashtra Bhagavatam ki Jai Guru Premanande. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6. Prahlad Maharaj instructs his demoniac schoolmates. Text 14. 7, 6, 14. Got it? Everyone got it? Yeah. Trey, got it?
What are the numbers?
7, 6, 14.
Okay.
Alright. Kutumba Poshaya Vya Nijayo
Kutumba Poshaya Vya Nijayo.
Navajyate Atam Vihatam Pramataha
Nabhudyate Ratam Vihatam Pramataha.
Savatrata Patraya Dukitatma
Sarvatra Pataya Dukitatma.
Nivijyate Nasakatumbaramaha
Nirvidyate Nasvakatumbaramaha.
Kutumba Posaya Vyanijayo
Kutumba Poshaya Vya Nijayo.
Nivajyate Atam Vihatam Pramataha
Nabhudyate Ratam Vihatam Pramataha.
Savatrata Patraya Dukitatma
Sarvatra Patraya Dukitatma.
Nivijyate Nasvakatumbaramaha.
Vidyate Nasvakatumbaramaha.
Okay, give it a go.
Kutumba Poshaya Vyanyajur.
Kutumba Poshaya Vyanijayo
Nabhudyate Tam Vihatam Pramataha.
Nabhudyate
Tam Vihatam Pramataha. Sarvatatra Patraya Dukitatma. Sarvatra Patraya Dukitatma. Nirvidyate Nasakutumbaramaha.
Nivijyate Nasvakatumbaramaha
Kutumba Poshaya Vyanijayo.
Kutumba Posaya Vyanijayo
Nabhudyate Ratam Vihatam Pramataha.
Nibhujyate Atam Vihatam Pramataha
Sarvatra Patraya Dukitatma.
Sarvatra Patraya Dukitatma
Nirvidyate Nasvakutumbaramaha.
Nirvidyate Nasvakutumbaramaha. I'll just get back into it. Kutumba of family members. Posaya for the maintenance. Vidya declining. Nija Ayu his lifetime. Na not. Buddhyate understands. Artam the interest or purpose of life. Vihatam spoiled. Ramataha being mad in material conditions. Savatra everywhere. Tapatraya by the threefold miserable conditions. Haryatmika, Haridevika, and Haribhotika. Dukita, being distressed. Atma, themselves. Nividyate, becomes remorseful. Na, not. Swakatumbaramaha, enjoying simply by maintaining the members of the family. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable time for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the Absolute Truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. Purport: a foolish man does not understand the values of human life, nor does he understand how he is wasting his valuable life simply for the maintenance of his family members. He is expert in calculating the loss of pounds, shillings, and pence. But he is so foolish that he does not know how much money he is losing, even according to material considerations. Cāṇakya Paṇḍita gives the example that a moment of life cannot be purchased in exchange for millions of dollars. A foolish person, however, wastes such a valuable life without knowing how much he is losing, even according to the monetary calculations. Although a materialistic person is expert in calculating costs and doing business, he does not realize that he is misusing his costly life for want of knowledge. Even though such a materialistic person is always suffering threefold miseries, he is not intelligent enough to cease his materialistic way of life. Umagantamanandasya jnanana shalakya chakshamitam nena tasmai shri gurave namaha vanchakalpa tarubhischa kripa sindhu miyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasiri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This materialistic civilization is aimed towards decorating the dead body. Maintaining the body alone is a waste of time because it will end anyway. People have forgot about the soul. When we hear the example of the woman who has a bird in a cage, and she is cleaning it and decorating the cage and taking great care of the cage. But then one day there's a bad smell. What's going on? And then we look inside the cage and the bird has not been fed. Has not been taken care of, and there's no use to the cage. All that work she did for the cage was a waste of time. Because the point of the cage is that the soul is there. So materialistic civilization, in order to give a good life for the body, make you think that profit is the way, profit for the body alone. And in this consciousness, you're always calculating in every situation, in every relationship, where is my sense gratification? Am I getting my share? With parents, with friends, is this worth my sense gratification? Always calculating. But the nature of the soul actually is to become, or the purpose is to become selfless, completely selfless. And that can only be done when the soul connects to Krishna and executes Krishna's will. So you may think, and Bhakti Yoga is that activity where you put everything into it, you invest everything, and you don't get any gain, actually. Material gain. There's nothing for your body. And your consciousness is in the same realm. Nothing for me, everything for Krishna. So you may think, well, why would I do such an activity? Where is it for me? So then there's the example of we know that every soul is a part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. So there's the example of the tree. If you water each leaf, twig, and branch, you won't satisfy the parts of the tree, you won't satisfy anything of the tree, even yourself. But if you water the root of the tree, then every part of the tree gets full nourishment beyond their own capacity. Similarly, if we give our investment, our energy, our wealth, our intelligence to the service of Krishna, the root of our existence, we get fulfilled and nourished beyond, or profit, you could say, beyond our own capacity. Because Krishna is unlimited, and he's a person. And this process of serving Krishna is developing that relationship. We have an ocean of love to give, but we always put it somewhere limited or someone limited. So then the reciprocation is limited. It doesn't satisfy the heart. You may have been in a relationship where either you give so much to the relationship and no one appreciates what you have to give. Or someone is trying to satisfy you or reciprocate with you, and it's just not enough. You just don't satisfy me. I'm ending this. You know? Or, I'm giving you everything, you don't care. I'm ending this. And that's when you get broken hearts. And here it's talking about maintaining the family, which in modern times is considered a very upstanding citizen. Wow, you didn't divorce. Wow, you've maintained so many kids. You brought them up. You didn't walk out on them. Good on you. You know? You're a good person. But no, this is like considered materialistic still, if that's the only goal. Because how long does that relationship last? Were you a father or mother before the kids came? No, it's a temporary situation. And say, God forbid, that the kids would leave before you leave. You're no longer a father or mother anymore. So this label of family relations, this can only, it's all bound by time, space, and thought. You develop all these relationships, all these relatives, but then, you know, time passes, they have to leave this world. Straight away, cut. There's nothing you can do. That's why death is so painful. Because you've developed all these relationships, like everyone dies when you die. That's the heartbreak one feels when they leave the body. No! What about everything? What about my family? No, it's time to go. Doesn't matter. So imagine, you've worked your whole life, you know, so much schooling, and then so much work, and then you build up a house and a whole community around you, and then all for the body to leave, you end up in zero. But if one is focused on the goal of life, which is to develop a loving relationship with Krishna, then one is utilizing their time properly. Here we have Cāṇakya Paṇḍita is saying, you know, even one moment, even if you have millions of dollars, you cannot buy that one moment, fraction of a second. And even when death comes, you cannot extend your life even a fraction of a second. You can't say that, hey, wait, I still got a few things to do. No, you can't. It's like definite. You cannot, it won't not wait. So someone who has transcendental knowledge knows how to go for a benefit that's eternal. And the purpose is to be happy, obviously. So if you can bypass this chasing for money, that you can be happy without it, without chasing these things, without maintaining these things. That can only happen in relationship with Krishna. You know, what is your career after death? No one thinks about that. You know, what is your profit after death? No one will think about that. That can only be attained in devotional service. So we admire actually the demoniac mentality, the materialistic mentality. You see them how hard they work, getting up in the morning, building this huge thing. You know, this is a lot of work. You know, flying here and there, looking where can I profit, where can I get money, this and that. This mentality is, this determination is appreciated. You know, even Narada Muni says they're so determined to get what they want. But if you were to apply that to Krishna, like Nitai was explaining the story of Bilvamangala Thakur, he came from a very pious Brahmin family, but he was attached to a certain prostitute named Chintamani. And he really wanted to see this prostitute, but it was raining and storming like anything. So then what does he do? He just runs out, it's like storming. But there's a big river there. So he's like, no, I gotta get across. No matter what, I have to see her. So then he grabs onto a log, crosses the river, but he actually sees back, the log was a dead body. He didn't even realize. And then to get to her home, he has to climb up a wall. So he grabs onto like some roots or something. And then when he gets over the wall, he sees it was a snake. And then he didn't care, he just ran towards her, gets into her room. She's like, whoa, I thought you weren't coming. It's like, no, I had to come and see you, across the road, explains everything. And then she said, with so much determination, with so much eagerness, if you just use this eagerness to worship Govinda, you'll be so happy, you'll be so worship, you'll be a pure soul. And that just sort of clicked in him, and he became like a very exalted devotee. Very nice songs. Try and look up those songs of Bilvamangala Thakur. So we appreciate this mentality, actually. We want to apply it to Krishna. There's a prayer by Rupa Goswami saying that just like a miser who constantly thinks and counts his money, in the same way, let me always remember and count your holy name. So that's where we're going to apply our determination. That's how we kind of shift our consciousness from materialistic consciousness to Krishna consciousness. We're going to do the same thing, the same activity. We eat, we get flowers, these things are done before, but usually for a materialistic goal. For sense gratification. No, we bring it to the Lord. And you feel so much better. The happiness is, the reciprocation you feel within your heart is so much more beneficial. Whereas the other choice is to fall onto pretty much being alone and everyone dying. We're not going to invest in this. So here we are at schoolies, and we're also trying to shift their consciousness. That the goal is not to just follow the norm of sense gratification. Eventually, the young kids, they'll come to the point where, okay, maybe I should have a family, I should get a job, I should make some money, and then die. No, we want them to live forever. And they can experience that with us in devotee association, in chanting and dancing like crazy. That impression will hit hard. That was the only time that I actually felt real happiness. And then we're going to expose them more and more of that real life of the soul, to live in the spiritual world. When Harinam takes place, Goloka Paramadanda, Goloka Vrindavan descends. And they're home. They're finally home. They're finally feeling a love that's beyond time, space, and time. And this is the goal of life. And then you can see automatically that selflessness appears, because they want to do with Krishna's will. Krishna is the most merciful person. If you become his instrument, then you become selfless. Okay. Some comments, questions. You have 5 minutes.
How do we get over the selfishness of wanting to be with Krishna, instead of wanting to serve Krishna and wanting to just be with Krishna? So how do we get over that? Because I feel like I fall into that quite a lot, where it's like it actually kind of then stops me from being selfless.
Yes. So the idea is that we need to develop the mentality or as Srimati Radharani has this mentality. That's why we chant Hare Krishna. When we call out to her, she is more merciful and she's very humble. So she controls Krishna. So it's very hard to approach Krishna directly, to go to the Father directly is really hard. So you tell the mom, it's like, hey mom, can you tell dad that, I want to do this thing. So she's very soft, feminine, So she feels like, wow, Krishna, this devotee is better than me, please accept him. So when we go out and preach, you sort of feel like, no, why would I want to bring others to, I want Krishna for myself. But the idea is that you see the other people actually like, I will preach, but I know this person is better than me. If they apply themselves, they'll surpass me and take me with them to Krishna. That's the mentality of the devotee. The devotee never thinks like Krishna's me and it's just me and Krishna, I'm next to Krishna. The devotee never thinks that way. The devotee always thinks that I am the servant of the servant of servant Krishna. It's only the devotees who are bringing me to Krishna. And I need their favor, I need their blessings. So let me help them, assist them in their service to Krishna. So our true ego is to be a servant of the spiritual master. When we apply ourselves that way, and thinking this, like, and remind ourselves of our true identity, then you'll know what to do. And that's where there's no selfishness.
It's just more in like the holy name, when you chant it and like, Krishna's there, but you're obviously not directly experiencing it, so then your mind is like, oh, Krishna, why can't I just whisper in your holy name,
Yeah, Krishna, he's there, but we're not there. So then, Jayapata Kumara says, then you should cry for Krishna. But if you cannot cry for Krishna, then you should cry so you can cry for Krishna. And if you cannot cry so you can cry for Krishna, then you should cry that you can cry and cry for Krishna. Just continue. So he goes for 10 minutes like this. But the idea is that you have to understand there's pride in your heart, and you can't remove it, and you're asking Krishna for help. I do that when I do japa, like when I'm trying to be attentive, and the thoughts are coming in, or then I just call out to Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda, just let me hear your name. I can't hear it. Just let me hear your name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let me hear your name. And he's merciful. He'll let you hear it. But then for some reason, oh yes, I hear the name, and then the pride sneaks in again. Then you have to knock back again to the humble mentality. We're not used to this. We're used to getting, say if you want to get a skill or get a goal, then you're used to endeavoring, trying hard on the sweat of your own brow. I'm gonna be attentive and get that holy name. But Krishna's independent. He'll decide if he wants to be there with or he wants you to actually try and purify yourself. See yourself, be in a humble position. He prefers that. So then he'll pick things out in the consciousness. Oh no, I don't want this, Krishna. Please help me. Any else?
Yeah, a question about the guru, right? I've been wondering, it's like, how do you know a guru is a pure devotee of the Lord and they're not doing it for, say, their own benefit, and they're genuinely, helping conditioned souls to get out of that cycle when, they're not doing it as their own power thing or for attention or things like that?
Yeah. So first of all, we need to know what is the qualifications of the spiritual master. And Prabhupada has fully described this in his books. You can research it. And I think I sent you that book, Spiritual Master and Disciple.
Yeah, I think so.
So you read through that. Yeah. Read through that. Because you can fool yourself as well. If you don't know what is gold and you go and buy gold, you can get cheated. You can get some plastic stuff, Yeah, this is gold, 100%. Take it, no problem. Only $1,000. So, so you need to know what is gold before you actually go and buy gold. So you actually need to know what is the spiritual master before going. On top of that, we need to know how to be a disciple. Because you may find the right spiritual master, but you may not be receptive to his mercy. How to behave as a disciple. So that also needs to be known. And then, when you know these two things, then you can sort of like shop for a guru, you could say. You know? From my research, when I understood I read, okay, I need a spiritual master, but how do I go about it? And I understood it was through service and association. So if you see someone who like ISKCON is nice, like we have this institution, and it's nice that like it sort of points out, okay, these are the people who are giving initiation, you can approach them. You don't have to sort of like search so far for it. And service, if you meet them personally, you can develop relationship with service. Not that like, oh, he looks good or he sounds nice, or all this superficial, he's very popular, so I should also, all the cool devotees are his disciples, so I'm gonna go for him, No, he's white, he's black, So you wouldn't do it on the material concept. And and then association, we can do that very easily because of this website called ISKCON Desire Tree. Has all the lectures from all the gurus, all the swamis or whatever, spiritual masters. You can hear from them, and then if it hits you in the heart, then you can also develop desire that way. So you can sort of observe before you actually go into the relationship, because it's a deep relationship on both sides. So ISKCON, the gurus in this movement are very exalted. History shows that there has been some gurus that haven't been able to maintain the standard. Doesn't mean they're not devotees anymore. It just means they can't take that leadership role. And they've done so much service for Prabhupada, so we're not going to criticize. We're not going to say, okay, now they're all bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can observe like that. But you yourself have to also be ready.
Yeah.
As well. So these two things, and read that book.
It'll be a while for me. I was just checking because I've encountered one guy who claimed to be a guru, and it was a bit sus because he offered me initiation after like twice, and I was obviously like no. And
it's a serious matter. So you also have to be ready. So they may offer, and you may not be ready. So so it can work that way too. Yeah, it's a big subject, and we can discuss further. All right, we are. Okay. All right, one more. Yes.
What about the relationships in the spiritual world, like this girlfriend, have families and stuff like this?
Yep.
Like it's talking about families in this verse and spiritual matters. So to quit your eternal position, not be like in a family world directed at
That's your real family. That's where you should be. Like the family life we want to hear about is Krishna's family life. Nanda and Yashoda, they have the best household life because Krishna is their child. And everyone in relation to that, all the uncles, aunties, the out boys, their families in Vrindavan, the different cows and their kids or whatever, that's the family tree and family entanglement we want to get into. Hearing about those pastimes and seeing how everyone is serving Krishna in those relationships. It says in Vaikuntha there's husband and wife relationship, but there's no sex life because serving Krishna serving the Lord is the best thing. So all these things are there. That's here, but in purity and bliss. This is the perverted reflection.
In the spiritual world, it doesn't make sense to be a renunciate.
Yeah.
Renunciate what? For what? You're already there.
Swami there.
No need to renounce nothing.
No renunciation. And there you are, your body. The spiritual body, that's you are. It's not like you have a soul or something.
Is there back pain there?
Yeah, but there is, but it's blissful.
Okay.
But sometimes Krishna gets headache. So. The basis of things there is bliss. Even though maybe, like, they get in separation from Krishna and they're so distressed. But actually, it intensifies their service to Krishna, thinking about him more, within. And the meditation and it's like even more intimate. Because they're like more eager to be with Krishna. But on the outside, it looks like he's just stressed out. Like you see Mahaprabhu, he's like, rubbing his face in the Gambhira room. They locked him up in this room. Gambhira means deep. So he's going deep into his relationship. So he's trying to he's in his meditation, trying to find Krishna, and then he just finds walls around him, so he just starts rubbing his face on the wall. He's bleeding. In Rath Yatra, it fully describes how he's trying to pull out the Jagannath, ja ja ga ga ga, and his teeth are chattering. It's like they're gonna break, and he'll jump so high, but he wouldn't care about landing. He just crashed like this, everyone's freaking out, and then from his pores it's oozing blood. And he's going, so he's going wild, Sometimes somehow he escapes the room and they find him in the Goshala and his limbs have gone inside and he's looks like a pumpkin, So this, the cows are licking him. Or Puri's by the beach, you see the sand dunes, he's Govardhan, he'll just run to them, just run straight, hard. You won't think about nothing, and then he'll just drop it. He'll just faint or something. Or he'll see the ocean, the Yamuna in the middle of the night, he'll run in there. And there's a fisherman who fishes at night for some reason. And then he caught him. But all his joints were dislocated, so he's just so he thought he caught a ghost. And the fisherman, he touched the ghost. He got Krishna prema, he became a star. He said, I'm going crazy. So then he chants the Shinga prayers because it's the Lord's name. So he went even more crazy, And then he comes to the shore, Sarup Damodar associates, they're trying to find the Lord, and then they find this fisherman, and he's like, hey, did you see, some guy, crazy guy, And he says, I caught this ghost and then we go more crazy, I'm going crazy. Sarup Damodar just slaps him, tish, 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 I'm an exorcist, don't worry, And they found the Lord and they're trying to carry him, but he's all dislocated, you can't carry him, It's like a Stretch Armstrong sort of thing, And then they chanted the holy name in his ear, he came back to normal. And he said, why you interrupting me, I was with Krishna. Like this, You were in Vrindavan, Krishna, and then you brought me back here. Why'd you do this, So actually, this love of God, from outside looks like he's going mad. It's a terrible situation, but actually, that's what Mahaprabhu wants us to actually become. Madman for Krishna. If you read Nectar Devotion, especially the second part, they're just going crazy there. There's no peace. They're just going crazy. So it's Krishna just it just makes him ecstatic again and again, this and again.
So they're kind of in the material world, but not at the same time.
Completely.
There is no material.
There is no material.
Just
Just full absorption.
Material world is just a shell. So insignificant.
It doesn't really. It's not that. It's just.
It's not relevant.
It's just for offering to Krishna. Just to create pastimes. That's all it's for. Okay, I think we should continue
Yeah.
the next part. It's 10 past.
10 past.
6:11. Today we are quick. So why are we rushing today so much?
They want to get on the table and.
I don't want to get on the table.
Table. I think he's already set up. Anyway, he'll post it.
I get love.
Thank you very much. Hare Rama. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gantarashram Bhaktam ki jai. And yeah, all of you ki jai. Vanchika Pataru Vishja.